Al-Nisa McNealy, and I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a high-level overview of who I am and where I am in my career currently, especially since I joined a couple of minutes late. So my name's Al-Nisa McNealy, and I've been working within the health insurance realm for the past 23 years. So during that time, I'd like to say that I now specialize in product management, product development, product management, product development, and delivery from inception to the deployment process. Business analytics. I'm a certified Scrum product owner. I'm specialized in benefits configuration, etc. So for the past 8 years, I've been working within the IT realm within the health insurance industry. So instead of doing a deep dive into the daily ins and outs of what a product owner would do, I thought it would make more sense to share with you a few tips that I've used over the past 23 years to provide myself with a certain level of self-confidence, and also to determine what my value proposition is and how I was able to maneuver from team to team and from different pieces of the industry within the health insurance industry seamlessly, even when I didn't have all of the credentials, so to speak, to do such a thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go ahead and share my camera at the bottom. Hopefully I don't use it. Okay. And now I'm in business. So my first screen here, my first slide here, I'm going to cover value proposition and how important determining your own individual value proposition is in business, and especially in the corporate playground. Businesses like to determine their value. What is it that sets us apart from the competition, and how can we solve problems while giving a more creative resolution? So in regards to new job seekers, what I'd like you guys to do is make a list of all your current experiences and accomplishments and credentials. And what you do from there is you're going to have to do a deep dive in determining what exactly you want your next steps to look like, and do like a really, be very honest with yourself in conducting self-evaluation. Employers really like to know, how will I benefit by bringing you on board? How will you add to the bottom line? So I want you to keep that in mind. And for the business owner, I guess just re-strategizing and reimagining your business, especially with the year we had in 2020, reimagining the business model and the business structure, and determining and coming up with better ways to market yourself and create different resolutions for your specific market is pivotal. So I also gave an example here at the bottom of how Nike has a value proposition model set up. And their 4 points of their value proposition is innovation, brand status, accessibility, and customization. And pardon me if I'm talking a little fast. I'm from New Jersey. I'm now here in South Florida. So next slide, self-confidence and the SWOT analysis. So the SWOT analysis is another resource that I've used throughout business in helping me build my self-confidence, or helping to build out new products in the product management or the operations capacity. What the SWOT analysis does is it allows you the ability to figure out in your business where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, where there are opportunities, and what are the threats? Who is my competition? When I say threats, meaning who's the competition? Who is within that competition or that competitive sphere? Who puts out the most threat to put me out of business, basically? So with this, for an individual SWOT analysis, what you would do is you would define your career goals and aspirations, drill down on what you would want your next role to feel and look like. Step 2 I have here, ask yourself, and what I want you to do is really do a self-evaluation of, what kind of companies do I want to become a part of? What type of organizations best suits my future career trajectory? This may take you may have to do a little bit of research. I always tell people, to go on LinkedIn, do a little background on different organizations, really check out the culture and the company values to see if this is really a place you would fit in and you would feel like you're a great fit for. Step 3 here, so strengths. I want you to write down your internal strengths. I want you to list out what your assets are. What do you bring to the table? And this is in regards to like when you're prepping for your interview process. Different things like I like to say for myself is that I'm great at process and performance improvement and project management, and I'm very solutions oriented. So you can kind of mix in some soft skills with that as well. And I'll get into that a little bit later in regards to establishing some other transferable and soft skills during your job search. Step 5 here I have is opportunities. Where are the opportunities for you based on your skill sets and your credentials that you currently have and some of your transferable skills? And so step 6, which I've already kind of gone into, would be threats. Who or what are my biggest competition? What threats do your weaknesses expose? And then what threats have the ability to harm you or stop you from being successful? Does anyone have any questions thus far? Or I'd love to be a little bit more interactive and not just plow through the slides. So does anyone have any questions? Okay, so here we come to overcoming fear in career transitions. So I can really speak to this for myself. Starting out, and let me put the camera back on here. Starting out in the health insurance industry, I started out back in 1998, just processing claims and taking benefit calls in the call center. So, you know, at that level of health insurance. And throughout the years, I always tried to, in trying to grow up the corporate ladder at that time, I tried to really establish rapport with different mentors and sponsors along the way and tried to partner with individuals that I could grow from and that could help me in my career, and then also champion for me during that growth process. So overcoming your fears and transition. Fear has a way of being undeniably disruptive, difficult, and scary, but you can absolutely leap over it. And I know it can be almost paralyzing to dive into different industries and genres that you've never worked in before, but trust me, I've done it. I've gone from the business side of the house in health insurance to now working successfully in the IT portion of the organization and operations. So what you would do is you would conduct a lot of online research and just to figure out what types of industries do you actually want to jump into. Determine what type of education or credentials are required. If it's IT, a lot of times it's just a certification. So going on to the Scrum Alliance and Scale, just to figure out what certifications or credentials are required. And then again, you're going to do another assessment of your current skills and interests and try to list out any past projects that you worked on or you were successful with, volunteer work, etc. Then you're going to evaluate your job satisfaction of where you are currently, the job you're in now. What things do you hate about the role you're in now? What things do you love? What do you like about the people? How do you feel about your coworkers or the company's values and things like that? That will be extremely imperative for you to take care of in order to transition. And then here I just have a list for you guys of transferable skills that can be utilized across industries. So when you're out there interviewing or branding yourself and things of that nature, rebranding yourself, these are some of the things that pretty much scale across all industries. And that's going to be things like communication, research and planning, organizational management and leadership skills, and especially critical thinking. And working in the IT realm, critical thinking is almost imperative. And doing design thinking and collaborative workshops with your coworkers and things of that nature. So being creative is also a really, really important aspect if you're thinking of getting into the information technology side of the house. Also, another thing about me I didn't mention, I'm also a Girls Who Code facilitator. So I teach ages 4th grade to 12. I teach JavaScript, HTML, and CSS twice per month. And I also have a podcast. It's called the Women, Business, and CONVO podcast. So if you wanted to connect with me here on social media, please do. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm available. My podcast is available on pretty much all platforms where podcasts can be listened to. And if you have any questions about today's presentation, please feel free to reach out to me via email or through chat here during the global conference. I would love to coalesce with you all and answer any questions you may have about my career over the past 23 years that I can't pack into the 20 minutes. And also, if you would like the slide, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to share that. And so that concludes my presentation for today. Are there any questions? Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. I'm ecstatic that I was here today with you all and able to speak with you, and have a great day.